Yes, drum nerds, drum nerdesses, like, subscribe. 2,704. Right, we're going to do a bit more dissertation, bit more technique breakdown real quick before we get into the video. So again, scrub ahead if you're not interested in this. It's probably going to be somewhere around the 4-minute mark. We'll see how quick we get through this. So into my dissertation, what is the most effective natural drumming system? Moving on from molar, we've got stone. So my brief historical background of Stone is George Lawrence Stone, if you're not familiar, is or was an American-born author, drummer, and educator. George was a performer in the Boston Symphony Orchestra and in later years became the president of the National Association of Rudimental Drummers. Big, big title, right? So he knew what he was getting on about. He knew what he was talking about. So, similar to the Gladstone technique, Stone believed that the shoulders, forearms, wrists, and fingers alike all played very important roles when it came to creating strokes of various different dynamics. The three strokes in his system specifically comprised of the arm stroke, the wrist stroke, and the finger stroke, with each part of the upper body utilizing its natural hinges to generate ease and fluidity within the performers. So that's the brief kind of overture. Now, real quickly before I get in, one of those three, which was known as the arm stroke, also known as the free stroke. You out there who play drums might know it as the free stroke. So when I was studying with Dom Famularo, if you're watching, Dom, hope you're doing well. Been a while. Big, big, big love, big respect. So when I was studying with Dom, he was teaching me. All we really focused on was the free stroke within rudiments, right? So I'll throw that down, but effectively what George Stone said it was going to be best resembling is an individual throwing a ball to the ground, a bouncy ball. So basically what you do is you throw down and you don't come up, you come back up because of the energy coming back up from the force of the stick that you just threw down. If you see my point, so I will show you. But yeah, so you put so much effort into that free stroke, into the down, you basically collapse on it. You kind of open up your palm. This is a very loose grip. You must know that. This is, not that you must know that, as if, how dare you not, as in you should be aware that it is. Sorry, I should say. You should be aware this is a very loose grip style stroke. So when you put all your energy into, you're pivoting off of your elbow essentially. When you throw that down, you kind of open up your hand slightly, you let the stick bounce, and you just follow it back. It kind of pushes you back up. So I'll show you that right now. I've collapsed the top toms on here. Hopefully that mic doesn't come off. So effectively what you're looking at is, if you were to see, very, very, get your mind out of the gutter. Very, very loose grip. You're mostly wrapped around the three fingers, not so much the pointer finger there. And you are literally upright, down, back up. So none of this upward motion none of that is me picking it. If I genuinely just let go, I'll try and see what it'll do. Do you see how it kind of it flies itself back? If I don't follow it, it flies back. So all I'm doing is I'm being the guide to let it reset me. So way microphone, calm down. So essentially, all you're doing there is catching it. You got to catch it straight at the top though. Hopefully, my many, oh my God. Hopefully my many hours and hours of practice with Dom have made this look quite fluid. I mean, it's pretty rigid in its own right as you get that one stroke, but don't forget that's one stroke version of three different sub-strokes in the fingers, in the wrist. Personally, I think it's a little bit less restrictive, it's a little bit more restrictive than the molar approach. I personally prefer the fluidity of constantly being in contact with the stick, But that's the stroke. That is the free stroke. We're going to get into this video now. Yes, drum nerds, here we are. And nerdesses, we are getting into this red Barchetta. Barchetta. Either way, this is a fabulous song. And to the commenter who asked me what my opinion is about what the hardest Rush song is to play, this is your answer. And I do need to get back to actually commenting that. But if you're watching, this is my answer to what is the most challenging Rush song to play. And also, I have listened to this. I know I keep saying I will let you know if I have or haven't heard it. The bass line in this, the bass guitar line, bugadoo. Oh, I know I can't sing, and I'm very tonally off, but it's, you know what I mean. It's fabulous. And little cymbals on the hi-hat. Here we go. Oh, this just, oh, but that hi-hat, so there's a little bit of a hint to the very tropic, historically stereotypical jazz. So he's just hitting 3 strokes on that and lifting up, getting some air in the hats. But let's get into this song. It's just gorgeous to listen to. And it's all lyrically designed and brought to you by Neil Peart. Here we go.
My uncle has a country place no one knows
And those
about. He says it
those little cymbal swells. Here we go.
And on Sundays I lose the ice on the turbine frame. Too far outside the wire where my
Subdivide.
white uncle.
Now you got Neil flaming to heaven and back. I'm getting chills listening to this, and I don't really want to show my emotions on this channel. I don't want the world to see. I try to keep, as much as I fail at trying to keep as stoic as possible. So if anything slips out, it's not intended. I'm trying to keep it in genuinely, but I'm getting chills. Tell me when you get chills when you listen to Rush, which song gives you chills and what part of that song gives you chills. Honestly, the world owes this man so much gratitude and thanks. It will literally never be enough. And I think somebody commented in the last video, it is so sad that it ended how it ended. We wanted so much of a different ending. We all did. We all know that. But we've got flams. We've subdivided triplets. But the thing that makes this song so tricky, and I'll get into it, is the triplet on the single kick. And you'll hear it, I'll point it out. But it's the single pedal triplet phrasing that Neil Peart does that is so unreal. It's incredible. Right? It is incredible. And this is back in the day when technology of pedals was a little bit more rudimentary.
Where my white-haired uncle waits.
Here we go. That. So lazy.
The borderline. Run like the wind as excitement shivers up and down my spine.
And then we're trading the phrases. We're trading the phrase. We're trading the phrase between the kick and the snare. And I don't think this version sounds the greatest, because it doesn't sound as full and deep and clear as I'd like it to. And I definitely know that's not my style. That's not my side, because all the other ones recently have been on point. But and yeah, about the pedal technology, they didn't have offset cams that would make it, that would send it quicker. They didn't have all of those different adjustments.
My uncle preserved for me an old machine for 50 odd years to
Here's the bass drum too, I think.
Red Barchetta from a better vanished time. Fire
Maybe not.
willing engine responding with a roar. Tired.
And you can hear that little hi-hat bark. He did a similar hi-hat bark in Tom Sawyer. But yeah, about the pedals. Stop going on about the pedals, mate. Honestly, pedals back in the day were ridiculously hard to use. And I know that not because I was back in the day, but I've got some from back in the day. And as much as I love and respect the Ludwig brand, it's one of the... It would be between Ludwig and DW that I would love to be endorsed by. But the Ludwig Speed King, I think Mike Johnston said it very accurately. It was not kingly nor speedly. And it's not a knock on itself, but it really was very much a pedal that would have... It took a lot of work to make work, but it was a delicious pedal. And that's what this is. Yeah, that's what this pro is made of. Now we've got... So what's tricky about that, it's not so much that it's impossible, but every time that bass drum pattern stabs, the hi-hat opens and closes. And so you've got to lift your hi-hat foot to open it. You got to throw your bass drum foot down to do it. So you're constantly going g g g g g g while you're throwing down those hand-to-hand. Just sounds like hand-to-hand eighths. It could be 16ths. Somebody comment below, please. I've been up since 4 in the morning, so let me make that my excuse.
In my head, shifting and drifting, mechanical music.
That's 16ths. Great guitar solo coming up.
Well, together, I'm Illinois, the scent of country air. Sunlight on ground, the blue of the landscape, everywhere.
Oh! Great drum groove right here. Rototoms. Now the bit about that's so interesting is you listen to the snare, where that snare falls. I'm gonna scoot it back for you. Listen to where the snare falls. It's hitting the one. It's hitting the. It's hitting loads of beats that it wouldn't normally hit in place of the bass drum. So you've got to change what is the backbeat and what is. It's just really it's confusing for you to do as a player because you sonically want to hear the bass drum go floop, floop, and instead you're going to go crack. And so you're changing those things. They're still all happening, but you're changing the voice of what it is that's causing that. And it takes a while for you to get acclimatized to being able to do that. And then we'll just let this roll. Rototom. So it's almost like the snare is playing the snare and the bass drum pattern. Got a little bit of double time.
Suddenly ahead of me, across the mountainside,
And it sounds like we're on the bell of the ride.
shoots towards me, 2 lanes wide. I spin around with shrieking tires to run the deadly race. Go
Which,
screaming to
that is on the
valley as another joins the chase.
And you heard it slam into this little patch. That. Listen to that bass.
Ride like the wind, straining the limits of machine and man. Laughing out loud with fear and hope, I've got a desperate plan. At the one-lane bridge,
Do you see that laziness? The back. He subdivided himself. This man controlled time. He owned time. Hamilton, Ontario produced the greatest drummer of all time, forever and more. This man deserves everybody's respect, and I know he has it.
I've got a desperate plan. At the one-lane bridge, I leave the giant stranded at the riverside. Race back to the farm to dream with my uncle at the fireside.
And we're back. And this bit here has the sexiest flam on the snare drum. You'll hear it in a second, but I'm not sure if my video is in sync with this, but if it looks like I'm out of time, please trust me, I'm in time with what I'm playing here because I'm hearing it. I hope this comes through, but yeah, listen to this sexy flam fill coming up. Oh, and he got the hat involved too. I gotta hear it again because he gets the hat. He gets the hats involved too. So it's so it's right. My left hand being the one on the hi hat. So it's oh. Now the groove. Oh, honestly. I know I've used a lot of words in this, so whatever flack I get, but that is a speechless song outside of obviously all that analytical stuff, but that's what we're here to do. But whenever I listen to that on my own and I've just sat there with my eyes closed and it never gets old. It always hits. It always hits the same but different, if you see my point. Oh, God. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want this to be... It's already going to be a big video because I got a 5-minute lesson tag on. So, right, everybody, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm loving the Rush vibes here. I can't wait to be bringing more of this to the channel. I love Rush. I love all of you. This really, really is... I'm loving everything. So thank you all for making this possible. Genuinely. Otherwise, I'm just some nut bar talking to a camera, which I already am anyways. Right. Do something nice with your life, do something nice with your week and your day, and be kind to somebody that you don't know. Politeness and manners are free. So extend something, pass it forward. Till next time, keep your stick on the ice.